Virtual summits are the most powerful online marketing tool available to grow your list, launch your platform, make more money, and create an impact in the world, even if you're just getting started. If you are ready to take your summit to the next level, then tune into the Virtual Summit Podcast with Dr. Mark T. Wade.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mark T. Wade, founder of Virtual Summit Software and creator of the One Day Summit Formula. And I'm on a mission to help you, the summit host, get your summit out to the world in a powerful and impactful way. So let's get started. Hey, Summit host, Dr. Mark T. Wade here, founder of Virtual Summit Software and your host on the Virtual Summit Podcast. And we have a treat for you today. On today's episode, we're going to be diving into some different aspects that we haven't talked about before, but aspects that are going to be extremely valuable for your growth on your next summit. And I've got legendary Renette Upson-Bush here with me today. I'm so excited to pick your brain, have you tell us some of those gems, and I'm just super thankful you're here with us today.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me on. And for all of those that are ready to get that summit started, it's definitely possible.
Well, it is so possible, and you are absolutely a shining proof that we can make this happen and make it happen well. Now, before we jump into some of these topics that we're going to get into around the summit and the areas of summit success that you and I were just briefly talking about, I would love for you to tell our audience, our summit host, just a little bit more about yourself.
Okay. My name is Renette Upson-Bush, as Dr. Wade said, and I am a CEO and founder of Next Level Chicks Collaborate, which is a women's empowerment group, and I do online coaching, but basically, next level, anything that you think is possible, anything that you want to do is possible when you put your mouth to it and your mind to it. And just decide to do it. You have to put the action behind it. So besides the group, I am also a speaker and MC. I am a certified educator, and I just love working with people and pushing them to create the life that they love, their business, walking in their destiny, seeing their dreams happen. So that's what I do.
Absolutely. This is phenomenal. So now we're going to jump into this aspect of summits. You've been a speaker on summits and you've now hosted several of your own summits. So why don't we first just start off, before we get down into all of the strategy, briefly let us know about this most recent summit. What was the name of it? What was kind of the goal? Who was it intended for?
Well, it was intended for new and aspiring entrepreneurs. The name of this summit was Get Your Ish Together, with Ish standing for intentions, strategies, and habits, because you do need to have your intentions in order to move forward. You need to know where you're going and have like a roadmap. So if you have intentions, you'll know where you're going, what you're doing. You definitely need strategies and systems in place. And that's part of the roadmap. That's part of the planning. And a lot of times people are like, oh, it's no point in intentions, but you must have intentions, and that it is a point in having intentions. And they all know it's impact, no, it's intentions. Because if you don't have intentions or a plan to really move ahead, then how are you supposed to go there? We don't want to just feel our way. We want to have a plan. So again, it's intentions, it's strategies, and habits. You have to have good habits in place in order to really move forward in entrepreneurship. You cannot be all over the place, everywhere, not knowing what you're doing, where you're going, and plan on being successful. So this is for new and aspiring entrepreneurs. We gave information on like things that have happened. Sometimes you have a dream, and because life happens, things happen. Sometimes it might not happen right away. And that was one of the questions on the summit. Did you move on this dream quickly? And most of them, they didn't move right away. And so if you have been in that space and place saying, I want to do a summit, I want to start a business, whatever it is you're trying to do, and you don't do it right away, you put it down, it doesn't mean that you can't pick it back up and get started again.
We've done the unthinkable. We've convinced 35 of the most successful summit hosts, coaches, and consultants to give you their prized possession, their summit email copy. Get more information at summitscripts.com.
I absolutely love this, and where I want to go now into this is an aspect that we were just talking about in our pre-interview chat, is the kind of structure of this. And everybody's going to know immediately when they hear you say this why I love this. But why don't you talk through how you decided to set this up as far as the speaker standpoint, the variables that went into that, and kind of why you made the decision to do this?
Okay. Well, being that I speak, and I have been on the road pretty much since August. Um, I kind of had 8 days to put this together. It's like, oh my God. And on top of that, I've been in several summits, 30, 25, even 40 people, big summits, and over days. And so since I was running like I was, I already knew that I was going to do it, and I didn't care what. I had 8 days to put this together, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to put it on Eventbrite. That way I can get it out there. I put it on Eventbrite. I also put it on my social media links as well. But I decided I don't want all of these speakers. I'm going to get just a few speakers and make this happen. And it just went, it was just awesome. The breakthroughs and the things that happened, the connections. And one of the things that I did that I think pulled people in, as I advertised on Eventbrite, I talked about definitely the speakers were giving opt-ins, but I was giving my own opt-ins, as well as I was doing a prize drawing. Actually, we gave away like 5 or 6 prizes during the time. And I have my little jar right here. I was shaking it up and coming on in between the segments. I was coming on social media, and I'm like, yes, did you all see the summit? What were you thinking? And they were giving, their thoughts, and they were giving feedback. So that was really, really good. As well as the speakers were coming on also during the summit. They were coming on, and then, having an encore event where they could get hot seat coaching and that kind of stuff. So it just went really, really well. And the lady.
Before we dive into that, Renee, before we get over into the encore aspects, let's pull it back a little bit. Let's kind of go a little bit deeper in one area of this, so we can get into some of the components.
Okay.
So when you decided, I've got 8 days to do this, I'm going to run this summit, and you were thinking, well, I've been on these summits that have done 25, 30, 40 people. You said that's not what I wanted to do. What did you decide to do? What was the number of your speakers? And kind of talk us through the reason why you decided on that number and how many.
Okay. Obviously, when you do a summit and you have that many people, 30, 40, 25, I had 8 days. I still had to interview each one of them. I had to see if they were actually a fit. So, you have to do your interview to see if they're even a fit for what you're doing. And because a lot of because the women were in my empowerment group, Next Level Chicks, I knew some of what they were doing. I was seeing it, I was hearing it, but I still needed to see were they a good fit. So I had to interview them before the actual segment that they were doing. So that was a huge part. There were actually 6 women, plus I did a segment for myself. And one of the things that I did before this summit to also draw people in, I did an actual masterclass before the summit. The hour before the ladies actually came on for the summit, I did a masterclass. So I started off with the masterclass and about goal setting, and not just, everybody knows about SMART goals, but you can set goals, but there are other things that included in setting goals that a lot of people don't say. So that class was instrumental for a lot of the women that watched the summit. And then we actually went into the summit. Another thing that I want to do that was different. I know that you time people, most people give, hey, you got 20 minutes, you got 30 minutes or whatever. So with the smaller amount of speakers, I didn't have to go over all of those days, and I was able to give them more time. I didn't even give them a time limit because I wanted them to be able to just really dive into what they went through in trying to be an entrepreneur, the good, the bad, the ugly. They gave it all. So they were able to answer questions. They, without the ladies even asking, they were answering, like what happened in life, going through death, having kids, dealing with a husband, and going to school and still trying to start a business. So they were able to really dive into it without being rushed and all of that. And I gave, I had the questions, but then I gave them a chance to really tell their story. So I think that it was really instrumental in resonating with the viewers because they were able to see things that were real, and it wasn't like so fixed and so like this. It was really just, I let it go where it went, and it just really took off, and it was awesome.
So as you decided on doing a smaller amount of speakers, did you have a set number that you wanted? Were you like, I only want 6, or I'll do up to 10, but no more than 10? Did you have a set number that you were trying to shoot for, and kind of what was the main purpose of just that number?
The main purpose of that number, one of the things I had, it was going to be between 6 and 8 actually, because like I said, these were women that I've been working with, and so I needed to talk to them, like I said, and see where they were. And 2 of them, I felt like maybe the next time, but not this time. So I just had to make an executive decision, and so after interviewing all of them, I decided on the 6 as opposed to the 8.
Excellent. And when you were reaching out to them, you said these were people that were in your program. So these are like students that have gone through your program already, maybe?
Right. Right.
Excellent. So let's dive into that. What was one of the benefits, do you think, for you as the host, bringing on students as your speakers? Because I know a lot of summit hosts are out there, they're trying to go after big names or people that are, in maybe influencers. They're not necessarily thinking about, wait, what about the people I've been helping? So kind of talk us through the power that you think that had for you as a host, not just for the audience.
Right. The power it had for me as the host, first of all, it gives me credibility, and it lets people see that, oh, she did that for them, maybe she can do this for me. I like to sign up for her program. And it also, that was for me, that they were able to see that, oh, these ladies really are able to get something from it. And it's not just because a lot of people are afraid of coaching, or they think it costs too much money, or they think it's a waste of time. They don't believe it. And I could sit up and talk about it all day about what I do, but seeing, hearing is believing. So that was a great thing for me. On top of, when you reach out for the huge numbers and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be great for me, instead of going to you, they're going to go to these people that have this big name and pay all of this money, when they could have come to you if you had maybe thought about what you were doing and how you were doing it. And sometimes when you get these big names as well, people don't believe that this could happen for them. It doesn't resonate with them. So it was very important to me for actually my ladies that were on the summit, because it did a whole lot for them, because they had opt-ins. I have 3 of the ladies, they've been like so busy. I mean, like getting business left and right because of the summit. So not only was it good for me, it was good for the audience, and it was good for the speakers because it brought them clients as well. So you have to really think about, when you start to think about your summit, put the end in mind, not just, everybody goes from the beginning and they have all these details and things that they are including, but what do you really want your outcome to be? I mean, what are you doing? And sometimes people are doing stuff just to look good, just to, oh, I was connected to such and such. I mean, if it's real purpose and you want to have real meaning and really touch somebody that's in the audience, as well as impact and make a difference for yourself, then you have to really be strategic about it. So that's what I was doing.
Oh, I love that. And I love that it was 6 speakers. And the reason our audience would know that I love that is because I focus on that one-day summit, which is anywhere between 5 and about 15, with 10 being the sweet spot. But what I want to do now is kind of shift back to one comment you had made earlier on. You mentioned that you did it through Eventbrite. So we've never talked with anybody yet on this podcast that has used Eventbrite. And I know you said, you don't dive down into all the technical stuff. You've got people that help you with these aspects of it. But can you just kind of talk us through the process, as far as you know of using Eventbrite as a way to kind of to advertise or promote the summit, as well as collecting that audience, those registrations?
Yeah, Eventbrite is very good. First of all, if you've never used Eventbrite, of course, you're collecting the emails and everything like that. And then you could connect it to your landing page, your sales page, or whatever. But even after you finish that, it's so many things that you can go back in and offer the people that have signed up as well. And then Eventbrite, they give a lot of features and different help in reference to if you haven't done this. They tell you the benefits of this, and they give you several different things that you can do. I had used Eventbrite before, so my big thing was to just get people signed up, get them on the email list. But if you want to do more, and you can send emails, if you want to do this and you don't have a big email list, or you don't have an email list at all, Eventbrite is great to bring in people that you might not have been able to get on. You might not have a big Facebook following. And guess what? Eventbrite is free. So you don't have to pay for all that, the ads and stuff that you would use on social media. You don't have to spend all of this money when you can just go to Eventbrite and do it for free. If your summit is free, but if the summit is not free, they charge a minimal fee or whatever. So that would be up to you as well. Or you could have that free summit. This is another good thing. You have the free advertisement and then sell your summit passes, and then you get the money, but you've gotten all of those people for free through Eventbrite. And it's just a great source. And then you can keep going back to Eventbrite to get the different ideas and the different things that they offer to you. So if you're brand new with it, it's a great source. If you have a small email list and you don't know how you're going to get a whole bunch of people, Eventbrite is it. Because people just scroll through and you don't even know them. They weren't your friends. You didn't pay for the sponsorship or the ads. And so it's a no-brainer to me.
Yeah, I really like this. I'm going to actually look at a way to test this out for ourselves. I've never used Eventbrite to advertise our summits before. So thank you for that information there. I want to also circle back to something that we were talking about just briefly. You mentioned you gave away prizes. You showed kind of the bucket there that you use, and you did this for everybody. I think this is an amazing engagement technique or strategy. But in our pre-interview chat, you mentioned that you used it related to to the topics that you were talking about. So just talk us through that strategy of what you actually did to give away prizes, what prizes you decided, and kind of how you feel that helped your summit.
Right. I feel, people are always looking for prizes and things that they could get. So just offering the opt-ins, and that's what people do when they do summits, but not, I haven't seen a summit where people have come on and they've actually given prizes and put their names in a jar. So since mine was Get Your Ish Together, I'm a mindset business coach. I talk about vision and dreams and, following your dreams, that kind of stuff. So with that being said, I was like, I want to give gifts and things that are related to what I'm doing. So the first thing I did was I gave away, I have vision cards, and they're right here. They're vision cards, prayer cards, where you write your vision and make it plain, and you can paste your pictures here. And right here, it gives you the exact, information on how to do it. So I gave away like 3 sets of these cards. I also have, I had different shirts. I just happen to have this stuff. Some of the stuff I had laid out, but I had different inspirational shirts. So I had one of my shirts, I had this one, and I gave another one that said emerge to greatness, because we're trying to get people to emerge to their greatness, to their dreams, that kind of stuff. I also gave away, what is this? I gave away emerge to healing, because in talking about getting your ish together, it was 3 of the speakers that had been through hurt, whether it was the death of a parent, a bad relationship, that kind of stuff. So they were dealing with hurt. So I pulled this out. And after I did my segments and I heard what the ladies were talking about, that's why I got the idea. You know what? I always knew I was going to give away prizes, but I thought to myself, I needed to give away something that would resonate with my audience. And then I just had a book release, which a lot of people that were on the summit, they actually purchased the book or they knew about the book, but there were new people that came from Eventbrite. And so I gave away my book, put your mouth on it as well. So I used all of those different things, and I got the information, and I was emailing them congratulations. I put that in the when we came back on Facebook and social media, the people, and this is so good, the engagement, as I was shaking it up and pulling out the names. And I'm like, okay, and it's spelled such and such. They were typing it in the audience. They were saying, congrats. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you. And then they were tagging that, because some of them knew the people. So they were tagging them. It was great engagement. And then what happened is, all of the prize winners except one, they were emailing me, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, well, how can I work with you? What can I do? So that was great for me, great for them, great for, the people to see, because they were happy and clapping. And I was like, yes, when you get on and you bring that excitement, and I'm like, woohoo! I played music behind, my, when I was doing the lives and stuff like that on Facebook, I'm playing music, and it's celebration time. So I had the music on, and the crowd was like, I'm clapping with you. Yeah, we feel it. And they were feeling the energy. You have got to have the audience feel what you're feeling, feel the excitement, and let them know that, you know what, this is what I need. This is what I have to have. And when you're excited about it and your speakers have the same energy, it just changes the whole game, because you have so many people that get on, and they're not bringing the energy. And if you want some results, you got to bring it. You got to bring the energy and bring the power there, so that the audience can resonate and they can feel it. And when they start to feel it, that sets an atmosphere of success. That sets an atmosphere of, you know what, I'm going to pull out my wallet. It's time for me to spend some money. I want to get this. I want to get that. And they just love it. And so that's what you need to do if you're really trying to move forward. And like I said, start with the end in mind. Start from the end and work backwards to the beginning. That makes a huge difference.
Be sure to check out the speaker management tool inside your Virtual Summit software, which lets you quickly and easily recruit and manage your speakers on your virtual summit, literally eliminating hundreds of hours of work. Get more information at virtualsummits.com.
Yeah. So I love this energy and bringing the energy. And to kind of clarify for all of us, you did pre-recorded interviews for the interviews, but you directed everybody to a Facebook group where you were going live, and you gave away these, and you had ongoing interaction and engagement happening. So just to clarify that for everybody listening in. Now, what I'd like to dive into with that is, I can see very easily just here on this chat with you how you could be bringing the energy with the live, and I love that, and I think it's very important. Can you kind of talk me through the strategy of how you did that with your speakers while it was being recorded? Because I think that could be a key thing, instead of people assuming or thinking that, well, this is just a recorded interview or whatnot. We do Facebook Lives a lot different than we do our pre-recorded interviews, right? So what were maybe one or two strategies that you used to kind of get the speaker energy level up and to get that recording to still feel full of energy?
Well, the one of the things that I did, and I talked to the ladies about, they were serious on their segment, but they actually came on to the Facebook group throughout the day. They were coming on and they were bringing the energy as well. And Facebook has a button where you can push and you can actually bring them on. So that helps a lot. And another thing that I've done on another summit, I actually bring the speakers on before the summit, so people can see who they are, hear from them, and they'll be like, oh yeah. This is another thing I did that a lot of people don't do, and I feel this stops people. They see you speakers, and so it may be their friend, it may be somebody they know, and you have this detailed time schedule, so they'll only come on for certain people. I never said what time. I told the speakers the day of, not the day before, the day of, when they were coming on. So nobody really knew who was coming on, what time, when. They know who they were, but everything was like a surprise. It was just there to have fun. So they didn't know when the person was coming on till I put it on Facebook. Next, we have such and such and such. And then when from the email, because all of the segments went to that email, I gave a little snippet. And one thing I didn't do this time, I've done it before. I usually use bios when I do my summits. I didn't do bios this time. This time, I titled each one of their segments and I gave some snippets as to what they were saying, and what their story, a little bit of the story before they actually told it. So it was like, it was one lady, and I titled her segment because she said, I thought that was for everybody else. That was for them, not for me. And that's just what I named it. That was for them and not for me. And, and then, another lady, she said, her mom died in the process of her trying to start her business. She was in school. She changed jobs. She moved. She had a lot going on. Life happened. And that's what she said. So I titled her segment, Life Happens. And each one, based upon what they said, I titled their segments based upon that. And so it just resonated with people because they saw themselves in a lot of the titles and a lot of the segments and the snippets that I was given. They were like, oh my God, I want to see what's going on with that. And so each one was exciting. It wasn't just this boring, matter of fact summit. And I told the speakers, I said, when you come on, I just want y'all to be real. I mean, this cannot be like this, straight lace, I'm stopping whatever it is you need to say, whatever it is you are feeling, let it out. Give the ladies everything. And so that's exactly what they did. It wasn't so stuffy and it wasn't so regimented that people couldn't relate to it. And a lot of times I know, and structure, when you talk about colors and stuff, I guess I'm an orange because I just believe in spontaneity and doing stuff different. That's the one thing you have to do. And I'm a speaker, and one of my signature talks is the shock and awe factor. See, you have to do stuff different because when you do what everybody else does, then, you just everybody else, and you want to bring a difference to your audience. And so you have to do things that will wow them, that will shock them, that will awe them. And that's how you get those people to come in. That's what resonates with them. So I wanted my ladies to have the success to be able to, get clients from the actual summit. And so if we had been like everybody else, boring, monotonous, regimented, doing what everybody else does, then we would have, maybe gotten some results or whatever. And they would have just felt like, what was the purpose? But they understand the purpose. And it felt so good to me to have them like, oh my God, such and such called me. I mean, and they were texting me before the summit was actually, their segment was actually over. When they would get to the end and it'll say what their opt-in is or whatever, they'll say their opt-in, but I put it in the email. So before the summit was ever finished, before the segment was finished, they were already having people connecting with them. And it was so good.
Yeah, I definitely feel like you are providing that be different. You've brought different aspects to that, the way you like it, the way you wanted it. But I think a super important key factor that is you decided that based on, like you've just mentioned multiple times, starting with the end. Where do you want to go? How is this going to look? And then working backwards. So I feel like that's a key takeaway I'm getting here from this chat with you. Now, as we start to wrap this episode up, one of the last things I'd like to dive into is you had talked about the encore aspect. And, most of our summit hosts have heard of like a bonus day or an encore weekend or aspects of that. But in our pre-interview chat, you talked about a certain way you've done it and how you brought on audience members even for hot seats, and you brought on speakers, and you used your encore weekend more from a live standpoint. So kind of talk us through that process of what you did and how you did it. Give us like one or maybe two examples of that.
Okay. I think one of the things about you might do an encore, but I think the live, because you can't really get the interaction that you need with a video and people just watching stuff. When you bring stuff real time where people can see it, and you bring people that have actually attended the summit and they can actually talk about it and say, hey, this resonated with me, and they can tell you what their issue or their problem is, and you can coach them right then and there, and people are watching on your business page or on your personal page, wherever you put it, because you can share it out to different mediums. People are going to be like, oh my God, they're going to start texting you, well, messaging you, and trying to hear from you. And not only that, the other coaches that are on, not coaches, but speakers, some of them were coaches, whatever they're doing. They're able to see that, you know what, this person really is who she says she is, because you could see all the pretty pictures, you could hear them talking, but it's nothing more real than to actually see somebody live and in color, in action. And so that was one of the things that was important to me, to be able to bring people back, and especially not just the speakers, but just just hearing from the audience. And even when I went on my Facebook Live and I'm like, hey, I'd like to hear from you all. And I'm hearing from the ladies saying, oh my God, she went all in. This was fire. And I mean, what does that do for other people that are looking, oh, maybe I need to try it. And actually another thing that I did, a lot of people, they cut off the sign-ups. So maybe it may be cut off a week before, a couple of days before. I let the sign-up go throughout the summit. And what I'm actually going to do is, on my next summit, I'm going to have people sign up, but I'm going to let it run for probably about a month, because more and more people can see it. What can it hurt? And I think I'm going to let it run for a whole month. And every time I can keep talking about it. And one thing that I've done with the Get Your Ish Summit, the first time I did it, it was personal. So it was, and I had topics, relationships, mindset, money, prayer, I had like 6 different topics. This time I did the business edition. I could do the wife edition or the marriage edition. I could just do different editions. So my mind is always clicking and going as to what I can do. And I'm just thinking, because I'm married, and I could come on and I could do the single edition. It's so much stuff you can do, single moms. So if you have a summit and you think about your topic, if you can expand out on it, that's even better. You can start your whole business from a summit.
With the Ever Summit feature inside the Virtual Summit software, you can rerun your summit as if it were live, ongoing forever with one click of a button. This now lets you continue to use your summit forever, bringing in qualified and engaged leads every month into your business. Get more information at virtualsummit.com.
I fully believe that. I love the concept of the summit series there. And as we kind of wrap this down now a little bit, Renette, what would you say, if you had to pick one thing, was one of the keys to the success of your summit?
I think the keys of the success to the summit was having my speakers buy in as well. And, some people just want to get on, speak, and be seen. But each and every one of them, they posted, they advertised, they talked about it as well. They got their friends to sign up, and they really put it out there, because obviously with 8 days, you need that type of, even though it was on Eventbrite, I couldn't have done everything. But I could have done everything by myself, but I don't think I would have had the success I had if those ladies didn't buy into it like they did. And they did, and they were totally like all in to doing the different things or whatever. So as you ask people to come in, another thing, and I know you've done this as well. I didn't do it this time because it was just so quick and whatever. You could have your affiliate links and stuff like that. So I didn't do that. I have done it before, and that works well as well. But I don't know. I just did something different this time. I didn't add any links. I didn't do all of that. And the fact that I didn't have the affiliate links, the ladies didn't care, because guess what? Through their opt-ins, they got so much more. And so, I mean, they got probably way more clients than they would have gotten by doing affiliate links. So that really, and they didn't feel like, how you try to tell people get on, but you see this affiliate link, it's like they're just trying to get money. There was no link to the thing for them, for their clients to think, or the people they were asking to think, oh, they're just trying to get money. No link, no affiliates.
That's awesome. And then the last question would be, what is one thing that you would do different or are going to do different on your next summit?
I would say next, this is quick, but I will definitely give it more time for the next summit. And I will probably, I will have a few more people. I like the number 10 as well. I think that would be good. And I've only done a 1-day summit, and that's what I'm used to, but I might do like from beginning of the morning all the way through. And then another thing I keep thinking about, I know you said one thing, I don't know how it work, but I kind of like a late night summit. I think that would be fun as well, like rock out late night. I don't know.
I like that idea, late night summit. Well, if you do that, please let us know, because I would love to watch it and see how it goes. Well, thank you very, very much, Renette. This has been an absolute pleasure, and I'm super glad that we were able to pick your brain and get some of these wisdoms and gems from you. I would love for you to just kind of leave the audience with one final parting piece of wisdom.
Okay. Whatever it is that you feel that you are supposed to do and you're holding back, don't do it. If something keeps nudging you and telling you to do it, do it. Do that summit. Just do it. And it will work. Just have the mindset that, you know what, it's going to happen, but it can't happen till you get started. So just do it.
Absolutely. Thank you again so much, Renette, for being here with us. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And thank you, all of you summit hosts, for spending this time with Renette and me. I'm Dr. Mark T. Wade, founder of Virtual Summit Software, your host here on the Virtual Summit podcast. And just remember, your message matters. So go out and make an impact. Don't forget to check out all the resources that we just talked about here in the show notes at podcast.virtualsummits.com/092. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening. Now don't forget to subscribe and leave a 5-star review on the Virtual Summit podcast. Head over to the show notes to check out all the links and resources from this episode, and be sure to grab your free trial of the Virtual Summit software.
Now, I want to end this episode by saying to all the summit hosts listening right now, I believe in you, and you can do this. Summits are by far one of the most powerful ways to quickly grow your list, launch your platform, make more money, and most importantly, make an impact in the world, even if you're just getting started. So don't get caught up in analysis paralysis, because the world needs to hear your message, and there are people who are waiting for you to help them. So just get started, because imperfect action is always better than no action. Thank you, and see you on the next episode.